Cool. Now make it look slick, cool, and interesting.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
I need to do some research.
Say what?
Do some research, like cars and vehicles and interiors.
That works. It's what you want to do.
Yeah.
David.
Batman.
No.
Dark Knight.
No again. I like yours. And I can see there'll be interesting little cartoons.
Of course, it was just the the stable thing with the stairs, like a little stairs like this. What's there?
There'll be some, I'm sure, like you get the way that's sketched out. You're going to clean that up as you.
Yeah.
Because that face looks getting twisted and weird or whatever.
Yeah.
Where if it was twisted and weird here and here, then that's what it should look. But it doesn't do it. Here it looks. Well, of course, you get this character designed like it's kind of chinless, which is a softer-looking Simpsons. That guy looks with a beard. Looks a little like, and being on a horseback looks like what's his name, Chuck Norris. I'll get off here and kick your whatever tooth.
Yeah, I just find him acting a little silly. You know how kids look up to the hero, but then likes comedy. So he might be over dramatic. Oh, I am the hero, this and that. I am this and that. Whatever.
That's right. He gives that whole, from the gas swamps of whatever. Actually, the guy that wrote that, he did some work with Lucas at Star Wars for a while. So, and as I said, he may come and visit us.
And then he would try different instruments. Not only does he do the accordion, he would try a trumpet or a flute.
Sure.
It did say that in the script. It confused me because it was on Squeezebox, then an organ, then a flute, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, he's just bouncing around. The Riders in the Sky are a musical group. They play music and then they do these little comedy skits during their performances.
And then he's kind of a little rowdy. I'm thinking Woody probably 18, then he's too thin. He would be kind of an old guy who is always not very active toward things, and he's always pessimistic. Oh, I don't think so. And he's pretty much getting close to his 50s, and he's kind of in his mid-30s or late 30s.
Is that his hat behind his head or something?
Oh yeah,
it slipped off.
Yeah, it slipped off. Sorry.
Okay, well that's a good idea.
Yeah, because it goes like this, and then he's like, ugh. He's always stressing out a lot. That's why he looks kind of old.
Yeah, if you actually ride a horse, you realize why a lot of hats did have that thing that you could strap to your head, because otherwise it was going to come off.
Yeah.
It looks bad if you're trying to race after the bad guy hanging on your hat at the same time, even though you don't usually use that other arm. But if I'm riding full force, I might actually grab hold of the saddle horn on occasion too.
And then the end of the scene, like, whoop. And then he was all being sarcastic and he's ignoring him or whatever.
Yeah. These look good. Of course, when you finally get to the larger scale, you'll have to clean it up a little bit to
oh,
make
definitely, especially for me.
Say what again?
I said especially for me. I will have to clean up a lot.
Yeah.
So am I okay?
Oh yeah, you're fine.
90.
Unhappy.
What?
Unhappy.
Yeah, I got an A.
Yeah. Yeah.
First time doing a little mini story.
What is this?
Just a little comic I was doing. Good. I usually do backgrounds digitally.
Well, what you could do for this kind of thing, if it's easier, is... See, I didn't have it with me because it's just sort of... My little file system has gotten in a disarray. Is I have a whole bunch of different backgrounds I've created for other purposes, and I just sort of keep them. And whenever I'm doing a character, I normally find, well, that background will work. And so I often will take a chunk of this piece and a chunk of that piece so I can very quickly lay in a background. The big trick, once again, is just making sure that the viewpoint of the character and the viewpoint of the background work together. If they do, then the perspective is right and it makes sense. But if you all of a sudden have the things that are strange angles and lines, then it kind of gets weird. And it sort of looks like characters are stuck in with glue or something like that, and that doesn't quite work.
Of course, most of the time I was working on this, I didn't have any specific ideas on how to, change it and add my own thing until I was almost done. Then I was like, oh, that's it. And so I know that when I clean it up and put it in the bigger boxes, it'll look much more interesting.
Actually, they begin a little cleaner with a little bit more of what the characters look like. Of course, here you're starting to figure out how to do it, and you're moving a little faster, and you're not doing a lot of detail work because you are just dealing with the shapes and the forms. How this character fills this space.
Yeah.
The letter box format is the way it's going to be. It's just the way it is. I find it irritating as all get out because all of a sudden you've got a lot of real estate right and left, but not a lot of vertical space to work with.
Yeah.
And so, especially when it comes to characters, you really end up, sometimes you still get close into the face, but still have a lot to deal with along the outside edges.
That's what I was worried about. Like, I didn't want to do like every other panel tilted so I could fit the character in there because that would just be
you can't
weird.
do that. No. Occasionally, that's good for drama at the moment,
Yeah.
the specific point where you want some drama. But it doesn't work, if you were to do it all the time, you have people kind of going, what the hell's going on?
Teeter totter.
Yeah. And the horse comes in. Don't cut a head off.
No? Okay.
Bad idea.
Well, what I had planned was the horse comes in and then it shows out to him, although I hadn't drawn that in there. But
Yeah.
don't cut the head off.
And the way that's often done, we just saw it there on the other thing, is once again, there's that red box. And Ranger Doug is here, his hat is here, and then the horse and everything is here. Whatever. Actually, I should have not done the box yet.
Yeah.
His arms are on the, holding the reins, whatever. And so the horse's nose is here.
Then the arrows or something.
His ears. There's Ranger Doug back here. Whatever. And then the pan is here. Here's the overall frame, like this. But then this box becomes this, with the arrow, the lines going straight to the corners. And oftentimes there's arrows.
It's showing whether it's zooming in or not.
Yes. What we saw on screen, of course, there's the opportunity that with the camera you can actually recreate. Okay, here's in, here's out. You know which way it's going because you're seeing it's called an animation.
It's actually doing it for you.
Yeah. Which ideally you can. That would be a cool thing maybe to do in your demo reel. Take your storyboards themselves and actually create the animatic. It'd be easy to do in Flash. Or just scan your images in and then you can put it in Flash and sound effects and sound and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Just like they're doing.
Voiceovers.
Yeah. So these are good. Once again, as we get along, after a while, you start circumventing the situation, just doing enough to tell its tale. This is a little weird.
Yeah.
He's
cut off at the bottom.
Try to make a decision. Is it in the frame, out of the frame?
Well, because he's sitting down and the other guy was standing up, so I wasn't sure how to fit that in.
Yeah.
Maybe an above angle, but I tried one of
You
those.
can go with an above angle. You can go a side angle, maybe. That's the one. But you want to be cautious of always, as I said, a lot of times I see all these times characters this way, characters that way, seeing side views constantly. That doesn't always work either.